Hi! In this chapter, we'll be discussing the menu and scenes of the game. This game has two scenes, the main menu scene and game scene. Each scene corresponds to a different part of the game. The main menu allows the navigation, while the game scene is where the gameplay happens. So how do we change the scene to play the game? We need to create a script for the main menu scene to call the game scene to start the game and vice versa when the player wants to go back to the main menu during the game. This script contains few methods, but we will focus on three key ones: the start game, load game, and quit game. Start game. This method invokes the load game scene method to transition from the main menu to the game scene. When the player clicks the start button, this method is triggered, leading them into the game. Next is the load game scene. This method handles the actual scene transition using this line of code: scene manager, load scene, calling game scene. Lastly, the quit game. This method allows the player to exit the application when clicking the quit button in the main menu. It uses application quit, which closes the game when running as a standalone application. Now that we have the necessary methods, we need to configure the scenes in Unity's build settings. This is done by simply dragging the scenes into the build list to ensure they are recognized during runtime. As you can see here, it's the game scene and the main menu scene is already at the build settings. Once they're inside the build settings, you're good to go. Next, let's move on to the pause menu, which allows the player to pause the game and provides options to resume or quit. Now I'll discuss the script that makes this functionality possible. The script has two variables and four methods, each serving a specific function for the pause system. Starting with the variables, the public game object, pause menu UI, is used to reference a UI panel for the pause menu, which is assigned in the Unity's inspector. Next is the private bool is paused equals false. This tracks whether the game is currently paused. Moving on, the methods. The update method runs every frame, updating the game when invoked, in this case, pressing the key code escape. Once called, if the game is paused, it calls the resume method, else it calls the pause method. The resume method has three variables. First is the pause menu UI set active false, where it hides the pause menu UI. Next is the time scale, where it resumes all game activity. And lastly is pause is equals to false, where it updates the flag to indicate the game is no longer paused. Next is the pause method, where it has three variables. First is the pause menu UI set active to true, where it displays the pause menu UI. Next is the time scale, where it freezes the game by stopping all in-game movement and physics. Lastly is the is pause is equals to true, where it updates the flag to indicate that the game is paused. Lastly is the quit game method with two variables. Application quit. This variable is used to close the game, and the debug log logs a message in the console of Unity to confirm that the quit action was triggered. This code is used for testing to know if it is working or not. The methods will work in-game when the game is paused and clicking the resume or quit menu.
This was to showcase how the game over screen look in the game.
Once a player dies, a game over scene appears to show how many waves you finished and whether you want to go back to the main menu or play the game again. Game Over Manager showcases the option to whether you want to play again or exit to the main menu. The script has 4 variables, but we'll be focusing on the 2, leaving out the audio manager and audio clip. We have public game object game over UI, which holds reference to the game over screen UI, and public text wave text, which displays how many waves the player survived before losing. Moving on to the methods of the script. First, we have show game over screen method, which displays the game over screen with a few variables inside the method. We have the game over UI set active to true. The function of this variable is it activates the game over UI, setting it to true. Next is the time scale, which is used to pause the game. And lastly, the wave text, where it displays the number of waves survived by the player. Next are the scene management methods of the script. The play again method calls the load scene using the current scene index, restarting the level. Moreover, this method uses start coroutine to ensure a short delay before reloading the scene. The return to main menu method also calls load scene method using the scene name main menu to transition back to the main menu. It also uses start coroutine to ensure a short delay before reloading the scene. Lastly, the load scene method used to scene transition with delay. The variable wait for seconds real time is used to delay before transitioning to another scene. Time scale is used to reset the time scale to resume the game's speed. And lastly, the if else statement, which loads the appropriate scene, checking if the scene is an integer or a string, and if conditions are met, those scenes will be called.
Next up, Chapter 3, where we would see the level layout of the game in our roguelike game called Frog Ninja Curse of the Juicy Horde.